Everything changed on that fateful day. Looking back, I know that whatever we did changed our lives forever.
The sky raptured and something strange came through.
It was a great adventure. It showed us how little we knew about the universe.
It was scary, yet magical.
I wish we could do it again. Part 1. Easter Egg Hunt. Friday, April 1st, 1988. Great Yarmouth, Norfolk.
The sun is beginning to set over the glorious vista of the Norfolk Broads. Windmills swish lazily at the pale sky, and here and there, as the camera pans back, we can see the long, hulking forms of industrial robots moving around the farms, beginning preparations for the spring. The days are growing longer now, and the evenings are lighter since the clocks went forward last week. School is just kicked out for the Easter holidays, and despite the chill in the air that reminds us that spring has only just sprung, a group of kids have a weekend of adventure in mind. We pull back away from the Broads towards the sea, and the camera swoops past the three massive structures that dominate the skyline here. The soaring towers of the Broads reactor, the powerhouse of the loop. We see lights blinking and shimmering up and down their length, and if there were a person here with the camera, they would feel the air between and around them seems to hum and crackle, warm with purpose and potential. And below, the day shift heads out, leaving a skeleton crew of the night shift to run their maintenance. The long shadows of the tower reach eastward, falling on the outskirts of Great Yarmouth itself. What will be a bustling seaside tourist spot in the summer looks forward to welcoming just a smattering of campers, bird spotters, and holidaymakers over the half-term holidays. We zoom in on Kimberly, wherever you are, preparing for this camping trip.
So I think, first of all, the radio is going quite loudly, and it would have gone off, and it's very much breakfast radio, so very sort of high energy, high speed or whatever. And I've woken up in what can only be described as a disarray, because I've definitely overslept in my tiny box room above the chippy. I get out of bed. I am wearing what I would describe as my uniform, as in a football kit that I also used to sleep in, because I absolutely adore Great Yarmouth FC, aka the Bloaters, which are known for very stripy pajamas. So you would think it is actually pajamas. Anyway, I've raised them because I know it's going to be very exciting, and I am basically rushing around grabbing extra bits that have been left over from the chippy, so maybe like newspapers, all that something that could be used for kindling, packing that into a bag, getting leftover the edges of loaves, the edge, so we can have like sausage butties and all that sort of thing. So I've got the food for the actual trip itself. And yeah, you see a quite broad-shouldered, almost like a block of a young girl, about 13, etc., with a very severe ginger fringe. One would describe Lego hair, I think, but she's so excited. And basically it's just getting it, rushing around like a whirlwind around the thing, and it's out the door before her parents could do anything, essentially rushing towards her friends with a backpack full of the stuff, and there's a slight odor of vinegar. She hasn't had time to
Acceptable.
wash. Yeah, I think so.
I thought you meant like from the backpack, from the you were
Oh,
bringing along some pickled eggs or
sorry,
some pickled
Game
onions.
Master. Game Master, you might have thought that, but I think everyone
I
else on
did
this
think
call thought it was me, and I
Mm.
agree. It is Kimberly that smells of vinegar.
Good to know. That's good to know. Okay, let's leave Kimberly where she is for now. Going somewhere. I imagine the camera will zoom out and go. The chip shop is by the seafront, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine we're moving inland and towards a slightly more suburban residential area to the home of somebody who I'm sure would never be caught dead going more than one day without a shower. Annabeth, what is the scene like in your house today?
So fun fact, Annabeth was packed days ago. Um, fully prepared. So on her she's like in her little box room, like desk crammed into a corner, single bed, white bed sheet, with a Puerto Rican flag draped over the end, and like this nice neat little, it's like almost it's not quite vintage yet because it's the 80s, but something that they would kind of use in like the 40s 50s style like case. And she sat at her desk writing a letter, and she's kind of reading aloud to herself, and she's like, "Dear Dad, I haven't received any letters from you in a couple of weeks now. I just want to make sure that you're not sending them to the old address, so I'm sending you another letter just to let you know this is my new address." And she writes down the address. And like she just like sits there for like a few minutes writing the letter, and like as she's writing you can see like like those wooden shelves that are buckling under the weight of like all of these different like books, like with ceramic teddy bears like as book ends. Like she's leaning, like her elbows propped up on like a huge encyclopedia with like a little dictionary on top of it to like steady her arm as she writes. She finishes her letter, like signs it, seals it, tucks it in the front of her denim dungarees, scans the shelf, picks a book, puts it on top of the case, ready to go. Does a little stretch, and then she opens the door and goes directly across the hall into Becky's room.
Can I just have somebody intervene before you reach the door?
Sure, of course.
As you cross the landing, you see your mum coming up the stairs, and she looks a little taken aback that she was coming to see you. Here you are. She just says, "You okay already?"
Always. Raring to go.
That's not what I'm worried about. I'm not going to say that's what I'm worried about. You'll look after Becky, won't you?
Annabeth kind of rolls her eyes a little bit and is like, "Yes, of course I'll look after Becky."
Humor me. I've argued with him about this. I still think she's too small, but I should be upset
Becky
if she
is
couldn't.
perfectly capable.
I
She hangs around with us all the time. She's gonna be fine.
know.
And if you
this
tell her
feels
that, I'll be really mad.
I'm not going to tell her. Keep your voice down. This feels
You keep
different.
your voice down.
Careful, madam. It feels slightly
huffed.
different. I just humor me. I have to say it out loud so that I know that I've said it. I trust you. Thank you. Get on. She turns and goes back down the steps. You see her sort of shaking her head fondly as she goes.
I open the door to Becky's room, and I look at the bed where, like, forgive me if I'm wrong, you said you'd only packed like one thing.
Yeah. So when you open the door,
You are immediately greeted by a very different room to yours. The walls are very brightly coloured. There are stickers everywhere, just plastered all over the walls. And there are, instead of posters, it's drawings, but it's drawings of posters, various films, things from like Labyrinth, Neverending Story, Return to Oz, but it's sort of partly traced for the difficult bits and partly drawn, hand drawn, freestyle. There are all sorts of the shelves don't really have a huge amount of books on them. Instead, there's what Becky refers to as her treasures, which is various different stones, branches with a leaf or a particularly pretty flower on it, a small little crystal, and sitting on the shelf is a very tiny robotic fairy that just sort of sits there, and it's quite dusty at this point. Pretty much anyone else would deem those things junk, but Becky definitely sees value in them. And having just described her as exceptionally capable to your mother, you walk in, and she is sat on the bed. The suitcase that she was clearly packing, or made some attempt to pack, is open, and there might be one outfit inside, and a couple of things that are definitely useless, various sketch pads that she's kind of placed very delicately wrapped in. She then is wearing a few different outfits, where instead of putting them in the suitcase, she's decided to just put them on herself, and a couple of different hairbands in her hair, and she is sketching. Her pad is open, she's completely lost, she's humming Enya to herself, and she sort of looks up at you and gives you the most sheepish smile as she looks around and realizes that she's been caught not at all prepared, and goes, "I'm almost ready."
Annabeth locks eyes with you for like, you can count to probably 10. And then she turns around and she goes, "Mom, Becky's not ready," and marches out of the room to go get
Incredible.
What does Becky do in the aftermath?
Oh well, I think that Becky immediately just sighs and goes, "I said I'm almost ready. It's not even the afternoon yet. I said I was." And then she kind of looks up at the wall clock, looks like got a fairy sort of shaped around it. It's like a fairy but two arms holding, and she goes, "Oh, is that the time?" And immediately runs to the wardrobe and starts like just grabbing things out, half grabbing her t-shirt off of her and like trying to stuff it all in. It is not neatly folded. It is not in any way, shape. It is unbridled chaos in this room, and maybe trips a couple of times, but just picks herself up and goes, "I'm okay," and then just continues. And I think she's just sort of rushing around at this point.
Right. Okay. We will leave Becky to her pandemonium, and out of the window we go into the morning sky. And which part of town do we find Jessie in?
It'll probably be fairly suburban, which is very contrasting to their style right now. But yeah, fairly suburban. They were living in a small homestead, but it is a fairly nice place. They have a little bit of a yard. The paycheck from the night security job isn't doing too badly for them.
The Loop, MAF, the government agency in charge of the Loop, they treat their employees pretty well. What is Jessie doing in this on this one. Is Jessie even awake yet?
Jessie is awake. She is currently sitting on her bedroom floor. On the walls, you can see like on this like kind of dark between navy and purple paint. There are posters of Joan Jett and the Black Hearts, some Heart, Prince and the Revolution, Tears for Fears, just scattered posters stuck up. Some of them have a few rips from where they've been moved from one place into a better position. There is a record player and just a couple of vinyls because they haven't been able to afford that many yet themselves. And they're sitting on the floor in front of their boombox, and they have a cassette in one side and a blank in another. They're trying to make a mixtape very quickly.
Yes.
Very quickly making mixtapes. So there are just cassettes scattered on the floor around them. And he's picking one up. It's like, no, maybe number 3. And then this one, oh God. There are clothes that are on the bed, but they're not in it. So they had a thought about packing, and then immediately this was more important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is the most important thing. The boombox will be coming with you on the camping trip, obviously.
Of course.
Of course. So yeah, you got to have tunes. What is a camping trip without tunes? But unfortunately, the person currently knocking on your bedroom door doesn't agree with that assessment. And you can hear your... Who would be the one harrying you? Would it be your dad or your mum? Heteronormative assumption. Do you have a dad and a mum?
Jessie does have a dad and a mum, but their mum currently isn't living with them. So it would be his dad.
Okay. So dad is knocking on the door, and you can hear... It sounds friendly enough when he says, "Hey, bud, you close to being ready? You started getting ready?" But you recognize the undertone of forced cheerfulness.
Yeah, I'll be ready soon. Just like 10, 20 minutes.
Great. Yeah, great. Cool. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to it, bud. Happy we get to spend some time together. Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
Great.
Really want to do that. Thanks, Dad.
All right. You can hear him hover just a second too long outside the bedroom door before you hear, the floorboard right outside your door that creaks, and you hear it as he steps away and goes back downstairs.
I think Jessie was just waiting with a finger on on the record, waiting for it to creak. Okay. Just continues
Back to work
with zero urgency. Eventually, like once he has like a good 5 songs, just like, okay, I'll just take a couple of these with me, and he just grabs 7 of the cassettes and puts them in the bag under some of the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Hoists the boombox onto his shoulder. It's like, okay, I'm coming.
So, all of you are prepared and in ones and twos and carpools and convoys. You all make your way out towards the Broads, where there is a lovely little campsite that your dad knows. Is it fair to assume that maybe you guys have been here before, whether together or apart? Is camping something regular for you all, or is this a way shot in the dark, we're gonna have fun outing from Jessie's dad?
I think I'd say that Kimberly's parents, along with Liam, her older brother, this is where they go to for their family trips because they can't be too far away from the chip shop. So Kimberly seems, I think, out of the 4 of us, incredibly keen because Kimberly has organised fun ready and waiting to go.
Are your parents coming with on this trip? Is this going to be like all the blended families together, or they gotta? It's the holidays. It's Good Friday. People are going to be having their fish and chips.
I think my parents might join us later, but this is
Excellent.
prime time. So yeah, if anything, again, say otherwise. I think if Jessie comes down and says, I'm already there at Jessie's, and I'm like, thanks, Mr. Reynolds. Oh, talking to your dad quite a lot, sat at your kitchen table, like ready to go, like, hi, Jessie.
Oh, what? Oh, hi, Kimberly. Like, the demeanor immediately changes from like so bored and done with life to, oh, hey, Kim. How's it going?
Oh, good. Yeah, I just thought I'd come here because, like, I didn't know how else to get here, but I knew you were going because your dad's going. Your dad's really cool, by the way. He's like we just had a big chat about the bloaters and stuff. Yeah, and you can tell like might have talked at your dad.
Jesse,
rather than with your dad.
I think his dad does follow football, but I think he's more than content to just have someone actively talk to him in excitement about something.
Yeah. That is the vibe I'm going for. So yeah, so I think with Jesse's permission, I would go with them as sort of scouting ahead, essentially.
Yeah.
So throughout the day, whenever you may all arrive, you reach the campsite and you all get set up. You're all just in tents. It's lo-fi weekend. But you get started having fun. Just let's have a quick camping montage of the things that you all get up to, who is good at setting up a tent and who gets stuck inside, who's sharing a tent, and what the general ambiance is like.
I think that Annabeth and Becky are definitely sharing a tent. We did enlist Jessie and Kimberly to help us put it up. It's not that Annabeth is not capable, but this is also maybe the first time she's ever gone camping, because she is an indoor cat. And then like once like they move on to like set up other tents, and like Becky is running around outside doing Becky things. Annabeth crawls back into the tent and then like starts folding the clothes inside of Becky's suitcase.
Oh my
To just make sure that everything is set up in a way that pajamas on top, because we're gonna need those first.
I think on Becky's part, she has one camping trip that she remembers, which was when her mum was still alive. She went camping with her mum and dad, and she remembers that being a lot of fun. But she's not been camping since then. So this is the first camping trip in a really long time, and obviously part of the reason, it's nothing to do with her being disorganized or incapable in any way. It's just because she hasn't been camping in a really long time and she doesn't really know what she's doing or what she's supposed to bring. So I think that while you're busying yourself trying to like organize her things and kind of help where you can with the tent, I think Becky is distracted easily. She might be given a task or two, and she will start off diligently taking part in that task, and then she'll notice something interesting nearby, a pretty flower that begs to be plucked, or a butterfly that she simply must chase into the nearby copse of trees just to see where it's going, because it could be leading her to a fairy or to an adventure. And I think that she doesn't get an awful lot of chances to go and really like explore a wide expanse of nature like this. So she's just sort of overwhelmed in the best way, and more animated, I think, than you've seen her in a while because of it.
I introduce everyone to the concept of camp ball, which is from the Wikipedia page, no joke, popular in Norfolk.
Yes!
Incredible.
It is. It says on the Wikipedia page, traditional forms of football played in Europe. It appears to be one of the most toughest and most dangerous. So imagine we just start playing.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, but I would say Kimberly doesn't know all of the rules. So we suddenly, maybe it's about after 20 minutes, we have to stop because somebody's crying.
It will definitely be Becky crying.
It's definitely Becky.
It's probably Becky crying.
Yes.
But like as she's crying, she's going, "I'm okay."
But yeah, I think just being useless in that sense of like I'll have definitely brought a football, maybe a frisbee or something like that, and then when those aren't taken up, I just play by myself unless somebody else comes and plays with me. So I think I definitely have nervous energy because I'm missing out. Maybe training has been cancelled this weekend, so I'm there like, so getting that angsty sort of pubescent sort of energy out somehow. So
I definitely think Annabeth's dad would come and join in because he's keen to like get everybody involved. He's very part of that. Let's get you be on teams.
Stepdad, very important distinction. Stepdad.
Sorry, apologies, stepdad. That's still very much a distinction.
You can call him Dad if you like.
I don't want to. I have a dad.
Right.
Maybe that's the reason why. If it is the stepdad, maybe that's why. Maybe he just goes too hard. It's nothing that Kimberly's done. It's definitely one of the parents that accidentally goes too hard, and that's why we have to stop.
Yes.
It wasn't even my fault.
He does that thing that parents do when they accidentally cause a catastrophe and then they go, right, I think that's enough now.
Yeah, when they're not winning anymore.
Okay, first of all, how dare you call me out, Taylor, in real life?
Oh my goodness.
You have a lot of fun, maybe against your will, Jesse. Maybe there's moments where your dad is being exceptionally cringe, but looking around, as the evening falls, you kind of have to admit that having all your friends around, you've had a lot of fun, you've caught a little bit of sun. Like it's early April, so it's still a little bit chilly, but you've got your jackets on and your jumpers. You've had a run around, and there's a campfire going as the sun goes down, and a little bit of a barbecue. And some of the adults start, passing out beers out of a cooler. They start having a drink, and it's pretty relaxing. It's pretty nice.
I want to be clear, Jesse doesn't actively dislike his dad, but because his dad works nights and Jesse has school, they only interact for a very short period of time every day. And so it's just very awkward to now have to spend all this time together in this place.
And he tries to remain attached to you throughout the day. This is very much him in a really, his heart is in the right place, and you can probably recognize that. He is trying to do right by you.
Yeah.
But at this stage, it's probably just far too little, far too late. But as the night winds down, he's chatting away with some of the other adults, and somebody says to him, "What did they get rid of that guy in the end?" They've all had a couple of drinks now. It's the 80s. Nobody's really taking care of you. You're just there while they're having a drink and a barbecue. Free range kids. And it was better that way. Back in my day. No. Dating myself.
Yeah.
One of them says to him, You were telling us about that guy. Did they get rid of him? And your dad says, "What's your dad's name?" I feel bad referring to him as Mr. Deathby.
Mr. Reynolds.
Mr. Reynolds.
Michael. His name is Michael.
So Michael says, "Oh yeah, Dr. Raff. Yeah. I actually had to see him out last week. They let him go." Did he do anything? And then you can see all the adults leaning in. They're like, "This is tasty gossip." Did he do anything? No, it was just he had his warnings, and the guy wasn't sleeping. You could tell by the look on his face. And took things a bit far. He was a bit obsessive. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get obsessed with your work. Like, gonna put everything into it and start pissing people off. I kind of felt sorry for him. Your dad is like trying to find some sympathy with the guy. Like, from what I'm just a security guard. I don't know what they do in those labs, but everything I heard, he was really smart. Like, he was really good at what he did. He just wasn't getting the recognition, I guess. But he's out of it now. And somebody pipes up like, oh yeah, I should apply for a job at the laboratories. Like, what do? They just watch things move around in a loop. I can do that. I should get a job. And they're all just egging each other on. And they start throwing like trivia questions at each other and trying to one-up each other. And they're having just as good a time as you all are. What are you doing in this lull before bed?
I think I would I be able to tell that perhaps Jessie has had a little bit too much dad time today and might be struggling a little bit?
Jesse is just so quiet and still in this moment. Like he's trying not to be seen by anyone too tall.
I think I would sort of like plonk myself down next to Jessie, and I would open up my sketch pad, and I would say, "Do you want to see my latest fairy?"
Oh, yeah, sure, show me.
And I'll go to the latest page, and she kind of excitedly explains why she's chosen certain features, and she's like, I couldn't decide on what colours of wings I wanted. It was between blue and purple for ages, but then I just thought, why not orange, you know?
I mean, why not orange? You know, not many things rhyme with that. It's a real unique color.
What's your favourite colour?
My favorite color is blue.
Blue. I'll go blue next time.
Oh, make sure to show me that one then.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
she does actually
you're
seem
pretty
genuinely
good.
surprised. Like, she's very used to just plonking her, like pushing her interests in other people's faces and not really getting much of a interest or response back. So she gets very animated, very excited about this, and she sort of like whips out like a pencil. She's got it like stuffed in her tutu, and it's everything. I think it's everything that she had an argument about bringing fairy wings with her. She's probably had them since she was about 5 years old, and she really wanted to wear them, but she keeps getting told that she's too old for them now, and this is her first camping trip in ages, so she did want to try to appear grown up, but she's very much missing them. She keeps going to like adjust them and then realizing that they're not there, and she's like, oh. Yeah, so the moment that you kind of go, well, okay, yeah, sure, show me, she immediately gets the like pencil out of her tutu, and she's just like, I'm gonna draw it right now, and then she just starts to like draw it, and they're not bad. They're actually pretty good drawings. She clearly is really working on her artistic talent.
Yeah, no, Jessie doesn't mind at all watching you do it. He didn't expect it was happening right now, but you know, it's better than what's happening during the day. So,
and I think that as she like draws and she doesn't have to like look at you, she kind of goes, so are you having fun?
You know, fun is a strong word. I am having fun, I guess. It's not a bad time. It's not a terrible time.
Do you want to play camp ball again? I promise I won't cry this time.
No, that's okay. I don't need to play camp ball anytime soon. I'll play frisbee. I'll play football. We don't need to do camp ball.
And she kind of goes like quiet again for a little bit, and then she says, well, if you think of anything that you want to do, maybe we can do that.
Honestly, Becky, I kind of just want to sit and listen to some music for a little while. Just it's not bad out here. It's kind of peaceful. It's kind of nice, I guess. So I just kind of want to enjoy it a little.
All right. Do you want me to leave you alone? And then she kind of looks up at you.
No, you're fine. You're just drawing. Drawing is not a loud habit.
She immediately like tries to quieten the pencil. But she does like kind of go, okay, and then just goes back to
He's very content to sit there with you.
I think Kimberly, definitely throughout the evening, but at some point will be told off for putting too much kindling on the fire. Because we know, right, the best kind of fire is a really big one.
Really big fire.
Right? And I'm not saying she's an arsonist, but there's something really magical about throwing even more wood on the fire going, it needs more fuel. And so I think at this point we'll definitely be like, no, and someone's told her off, and it's like, oh god, and then it's like this sat like grumpily like next to a inferno of her own design. But slowly has been building it up.
I think Annabeth is sat next to Kimberly at this point. And she's doing what I like to call the early bisexual squat, which is where, you know, when you have to like sit and do something but you're not comfortable in that position, so you're changing positions all the time to be more comfortable, but you're still doing whatever it is. Like, so she's writing in a notebook. And it's like this like really battered, like well-worn notebook, and she's got a pencil and she's going for it. Like, and as she changes position again and like kind of sits on her foot, she just leans over to Kimberly and is like, I think it's pretty cool.
Thanks. I'm glad you think so. How are your characters? Has there been plot?
Plot is happening. They're not listening to me at the moment, and so it's making me kind of cross. But I'll get them back in line. Don't worry.
Because I remember last time you said they had feelings, and you weren't sure if the feelings were coming across the page.
Yeah, it's hard because sometimes like Mrs. Stevens keeps saying show don't tell. But the thing, sometimes you show people stuff and they don't get it. So then you have to tell them, and they're like, well, why did you tell me? That's too obvious now. And it's like, well, because I was trying to show you and you weren't picking up what I was putting down.
Yeah.
But
see, I show it all out. Like I get told that all the time. Like when I'm angry, I show it by like running up and down the pitch quite a bit and then trying to score the goals. But apparently, sometimes I need to speak about like working as a team. Not always, you know, you gotta pass sometimes, and I'm like, well, I don't want to pass. I don't trust Damien to like support me, you know.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is because sometimes you can't rely on other people to do the thing that they say they're gonna do.
Right.
And so you shouldn't have to then share with those people.
No.
But adults don't seem to understand that other people are unreliable. But then when they see other people be unreliable and have to experience those effects, they get angry just like we do. But like they don't have to go and sit on the stairs and think about their actions. And I think that's silly.
Yeah, and Damien always has his shoes unlaced, so of course he's never going to get the ball, because he's going to be tripping over his own feet again.
Does Damien not know how to tie his shoelaces?
It's just a baby. I then sneakily try to throw another log on the fire.
Hey, Becky's dad bought like a wooden deck chair.
Is he currently sitting on it? Are
Yes.
you going to throw my dad in the fire?
Do you want to get in trouble?
I don't know. I feel like I'm already in a lot of trouble, Annabeth. But I'll file that away for good to know.
That's okay. They'll have to go to sleep at some point.
The fire continues.
It's okay, because what'll happen is they'll go to bed when it starts dying down, and then like we can stay awake, and there'll be no one to stop us. I'll wait until Becky's asleep because I don't think that she would like it. But
yeah. I don't know if she might tell on us if we were going to do something as cool and as groundbreaking as throwing property into a fire.
I know, right? Because imagine like there's like the pile of wood that you've already done, and then on
Yeah.
top is like a
throne. Oh,
Yeah.
Jinx! Yeah, and then we do this for ages.
Would Annabeth
Yeah.
respect the Jinx?
I think there's still like a tiny bit of like childish nature in Annabeth, so I do think like when it's like when we were like when I was a teenager, like the game was a thing, and it didn't
still
matter
is.
what it still is. And Latia Jiki made me lose the other day. But
You just made everybody
everyone,
in
yeah,
this
everyone who's
game,
watching this game,
and everybody
We
who I'm
all
going to
just
leave
lost
this
the
in,
game.
everybody
Okay,
lost the
yeah,
game. So
good,
thanks,
good.
Taylor.
You know what? That's fine. Everyone, the game. There you go. You can clip that, and then you can like send it to
no,
people
not clip it
afterwards.
forever. Oh.
Clip it forever.
God.
But part of me was like, do I actually do I Taylor respect the Jinx, and then see how long I can get away with not speaking for?
See, the thing is, if Annabeth is abiding by the rules of Jinx, I definitely think Kimberly would panic, thinking that I've done something wrong, but won't remember the rule of how to undo said Jinx for at least 15 minutes.
That's absolutely fine. She stays stone silent because, like, I think Annabeth does believe in the concept of bad luck. And while they're camping, the worst thing that could happen is a bear comes out of the woods, even though bears don't live in this country. So she's not gonna say anything because she doesn't want Becky to get mauled by a bear while they sleep.
Goodness.
I really adore the fact that you're just imagining someone else, aka me.
I'm
being
15.
able to
You're
say, like,
you're
"Wow,
11. I'll get away.
I wouldn't want Becky, my extremely capable sister, to get mauled by a bear.
She has mixed feelings about Becky.
I got that vibe.
She's trying really hard, but it's hard when you get a new sibling, especially a step sibling.
So, as the evening draws to a close and the light leaves the sky, and the drinking continues, but eventually people start getting you guys ready for bed. I think the adults are going to stay up a little bit longer, but they've let you stay up pretty late because it's a Friday, it's the Easter holidays. You're on your trip, and so they let you stay up a little bit later, but eventually they will start making sort of herding motions and carting you off to the toilet block to brush your teeth and shuffle you in your pajamas and into your sleeping bags. And your dad walks over to the toilet block with you, Jesse, and he's a little loose. You can see that he's had a few too many. He's a little sullen. He's quiet. And you can tell that he's thinking. And eventually he just sort of gives you that really weak chuck on the shoulder and says, I hope this is okay. I know it's not much, but I hope it's okay.
I think Jesse's worn out from the day, so doesn't have the energy to maintain like the facade of being completely done with everything. And so she just says, yeah, it's okay, Dad. You're doing all right. Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm great. Yeah. If you're great, I'm great.
Who is that guy that everyone was really wanting you to talk about?
Oh, Dr. Raff. He's just some scientist guy. And he got let go from the loop last week. They just have to gossip. It's nothing.
Oh. Did you like him?
He was nice enough to me. I didn't see much of him. He was in the high level labs. I heard one of the guys he used to work with won the Nobel Prize or something last year. But not him. He wasn't involved in that. I think he hated that guy actually.
Oh.
But yeah, he was real committed to the work, and I guess he just I don't understand the loop stuff, but I guess it's got pretty big implications, and they think it can do really amazing things and if you do the right stuff. But his idea of what the right stuff was too much for people, or he wanted to do weird stuff. He's a bit intense. That's the vibe I got. But he's done. I don't think he's the kind to try anything.
Try anything? Like what?
Oh, like you hear people getting let go from their jobs and they come back the next day and like smash up people's cars or anything. Like he's a nerd. He's a science nerd. He's not dangerous.
Okay, because we only have the one car, so I hope he doesn't do that.
No, not ours. Like I say, I was nice to him, but like the bosses or whatever,
Oh. Okay.
I'm sure it's that moment as you turn to go inside and grab a shower or whatever. You can see you're like halfway out into the Broads, and you can see the towns, Great Yarmouth and the other towns up and down the coast. You can sort of see the light pollution, the glow from all of those houses and shops and all those things that go together to make up your community. And there's just a flicker. Seems like all of the lights go out at once and then start popping back on. You become aware of like a thrum in the distance back towards the loop. Your dad looks over at it. I didn't think they were doing any experiments tonight.
It's the holidays.
Yeah. Should be maintenance all night, all weekend. Like just a power surge. Somebody's gonna get the backside handed to them, but it isn't gonna be me.
Jesse does laugh.
He gives a genuine smile there, like that's what he's been after all day. And he got it. Alright. You go take care of yourself, and I'll see you back there.
Okay. Thanks for bringing us that.
He doesn't say anything. He just sniffs loudly once, nods, and heads back to the others. I'm going to move us along a little bit. You all get ready for the night, and you hunker down in your sleeping bags, and everyone tells you to put the lights out and go to sleep, but then all the adults keep drinking and chatting, and you're just left to your own devices, so... I imagine there's torches underneath the blankets and
Of course.
shadow puppets, and you stay up way later than you should. But eventually, you all drop off. Who is up last? Yeah, I had a feeling.
It's me.
You stay up so late, and everybody else falls asleep around you, and even the adults are starting to drift off. In fact, I think you do hear them all give up and pack it up and go off to their tents, to their sleeping bags. but you had a few too many drinks, and you've got to make your way to the toilet block one last time.
Oh no. Okay, this is fine, and I'm definitely not panicking. Because the thing was, I had a torch and I had a secret backup torch. Because bought an even smaller torch so I could carry on reading my books. Underneath the pillow, but like with the pillow blocking it, so that way Becky didn't wake up from the light.
Mhm.
And I'm like looking at my two torches, like which is going to get me in the least amount of trouble. I've got to make a dash for it. Those trees are moving, and that scares me. You know what? I'm gonna bring both of them. Annabeth has like those pajamas that have like the lapel and like the white piping around.
Mhm.
She's got like some like that dusty pink one of those. She like folds her paper back in half and shoves it in the pocket. And is dual wielding flashlights, and she has the small one on so that way she doesn't like accidentally slip on anything or trip while she's going through the tent, and then she switches over to the bigger one and books it to the toilet block.
You planned for this exact occurrence, and I love that.
Of course I did.
And it's not until you're on your way back that you notice that anything is out of the ordinary. Everything is quiet around you now. The campsite is dark and quiet. The campfire, despite Kimberly's best efforts, has now died down to just embers.
Oh no. She's gonna
She
be
dreams angry dreams about it.
Yeah. So loud.
But you notice a light, and you think, oh, it's not unusual for there to be lights along the pavement. But as you look up in your sort of bleary-eyed state, you can see that it's further away and it's above the towers of the loop. It is almost perfectly centered in between the three of them. And as you watch, the light pulses and grows and becomes a circle. The edges of the circle begin to shimmer and wave. And then suddenly it's not a light. It's black. And it's a hole. There is a hole in the sky above the loop. And as you stand, you see something emerge from this hole. And glide into the sky above North. It's lit up by the loop itself, and its shape seems strange, and you can't quite make it out, but you can see that this thing is huge. It's got to be the size of a bus. But it's floating serenely towards you.
Oh no. 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 Jessie. I begin like I turn off the lights because I don't want to be seen in this moment. Like running, scrambling. Like I'm like, Jessie, wake up. And like before like Jessie is fully up, I then go and I don't even bother saying Kimberly's name. I like put both hands on her shoulders and like shake because I know how to wake my friend.
Is it kick off?
Yes, grab the ball. Let's
Kick
go.
off.
Let's go. Grab the ball.
What's happening? What's going on?
There's something in between the towers. It's fine. And then I look at my tent, right? And I pause for a second, and then I go and I crawl in, and I'm like, Becky, stay quiet.
I think Becky's already awake. She's like sat up, she's rubbing her eyes, and she looks up and you goes, "What's going on?"
See that huge torch behind you? Grab it. Let's go.
What? I cannot sleep. And she just like grabs it, and then follows out. Like she doesn't need telling twice.
Is it
Just
still
as, like-
there in the sky as we're all kind of like standing like with our backs to like the tent that Becky's just crawled out of?
Oh,
It's
fire's out.
moving.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Oh,
very
what's
important.
that? Yeah.
It's moving fairly quickly. It's still moving generally in your direction, but it's kind of curving and looping, and almost like it's following a path that you can't see. And as it approaches, you all see it. You all see exactly what Annabeth saw. But as it gets closer, you can see that it's sort of, there's a glow on its underside.
You know, I thought you were dreaming for a second, but that is something in the sky.
Should I go and wait, Dad?
No, absolutely not.
Should I go and wait, Mom?
No, absolutely not.
Is it a fairy?
Like Annabeth gives pause, and she's like, and like she's genuinely thinking to herself, "Could this be?" And then she
Yeah.
sci-fi and fantasy, like in her mind, up against this thing, and she's like, "It's not a fairy." Pretty
It's
sure.
the biggest fairy I've ever seen,
Yeah,
if it is.
I've never seen anything like it.
It is
Okay.
still coming
We should-
towards you.
Go look.
Well, no, it's
You don't
coming.
need to go.
Hang on,
anywhere.
is it like coming in like general directions of the campsite, or does it seem to be like honing in on like us as people?
It's still sort of taking a meandering approach. This is just the general direction that it's heading. It heads towards you, and you know that behind you is the town, and it's sort of heading in that way trajectory, but looping and taking. its
So
time
it
about
might pass like over
Um,
your thing.
Is
Can-
there I was gonna say maybe we can get to like one of the buildings, like the toilet box, and try and get on the roof so we can see it as it comes over the top of us, perhaps, or a hill, something like that. If we want to get closer and see a good look at it.
Can I do like a roll, like a calculate roll, to see if I can figure out? Because I've been watching it the longest to see if I can figure out where it's gonna land.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There.
Yay!
roll!
A roll, the first roll.
So, what is your
for
argument?
both
This
of
is
us-
calculate.
My argument is this is calculate because it's like more of like a prediction math thing,
Okay.
than anything else. For the members of our audience who have never played Tales from the Loop before and maybe don't know how to play, what would I be rolling for this?
Purely for the audience.
I know, but just in
I-
case.
I, Taylor, know, but I want to give you, Darcy, the storyteller, the
Mhm.
opportunity to maybe explain for the new members
Absolutely,
of
I
the
mean,
audience how
Tales from
to
the Loop is a wonderful system, and I'm happy to showcase how it works for everybody watching. So calculate is a tech skill. So you would look at how many points you have in tech,
Mhm.
which from what I can see of your character sheet is 3,
Mhm.
and then you take that many d6s,
Mhm.
and then you also add how many you have specifically in calculate, which I can see is 2. So you would roll 5d6,
Mhm.
and you're just looking for one success. So 1 6 is one success. If you get any more successes, you can buy extra effects and make cool shit happen.
Interesting. I don't have any 6s. I have a
Okay.
1, a 3, and then 3 4s.
We don't care about those 4s. Those 4s are no good to you. So, if you were a younger child, this is where you could use a luck point to re-roll the failed dice. But
Mhm.
as you are 15 years old, you're supposed to be good at this stuff by now.
Whoops. It's the middle
So-
of the night. I haven't slept
That's
yet.
some feedback for you.
Nobody's judging you. Nobody's judging you. This is just how it is sometimes. You're trying to guess the movements of a strange creature object that has come through a rift in the sky at 2 in the morning.
Mhm.
Nobody would judge you if you did not know how to do that, because I don't think they could either. You can't guess which of the turns is going to be its last, when it's going to head in a straight line. It doesn't seem to want to head in a straight line. It's it's taking its time, and it may follow a seeming track for a while, but then it takes a sharp turn and goes somewhere else, and then there's a long curved loop that brings it back around. It doesn't seem to have a pattern that you can discern. But before long, you realize that you're not going to have to go far at all. It is going to pass directly above you. If you want to do as Kimberly suggests and find a vantage point,
I am a fan of climbing the toilet blocks.
we love climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Climbing is fun and good.
That definitely
should-
sounds
We should
like
book it to
could
the
cause trouble.
toilet blocks. Yeah.
I'm going to say this is a move roll.
Ooh.
So I would like everybody to roll move. That is a body skill. So everybody grab your body dice and then your move dice.
All
Not
right.
these dice. These dice don't mean to me.
I believe
Gosh.
there is something for like
Oh
a
no.
group check.
I would like to roll the dice, please.
Helping each other.
Yes. I mean, I'm already on the toilets. I've got one success.
I have 0 success.
I also have
successes.
0 success.
Okay. I'm gonna say this is not it's maybe a rule, but I cannot immediately find it that this is like a group check where if the majority of you succeed, you can kind of help along the others because teamwork.
All right.
So,
Well, we're not doing
Kimberly,
well. Jesse, still down to
the
you.
two of you younger ones will have luck points that you can spend.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can spend 1 luck point to re-roll all of the failed dice.
So all of okay.
Basically all of them.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do that. I may as well.
I think you
have
should.
4 luck.
You only live once.
Okay. And then do I just make the roll again?
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's okay. You and me can just like hang out in front of the toilets and like guard the young ones from the parents in case they wake up.
Come on.
There you go.
Yes.
There we go. So,
Yes.
Becky manages it. So half of you manage it. So what I'm going to say is one of the really wonderful things about this system is that it's not, you don't fail. Something just gets complicated. Something else happens. I may say that the two of you who didn't get any successes, so that's Jessie and Annabeth, I feel like I want to make you mark a condition to make it happen. You get there, but you mark at least one condition. Which one would be most suited?
What conditions do we have, Darcy?
I was hoping one of you were going to jump in while I frantically Google it. One of them is upset. One of them is scared. Here they are: upset, scared, exhausted, or injured.
What?
So
I feel like-
I mean,
I
I
can give
would-
you one, or you can make the argument. It's up to you.
I think I would be exhausted because I haven't slept at this point,
Yeah.
and also I have definitely been up since 6 a.m.
Yes.
So we're coming close to 24 hours, and then I tried to climb the toilet block, and I couldn't quite do it. I'm exhausted, I think.
That makes a lot of sense. Jesse, same, or does something else happen to make you scared or upset, or do you take a fall and get injured trying to do it?
Do I want to injure myself already? Sure, why not? So I think Jesse is kind of scrabbling up a bit, and then just as he's about to get a handhold to lift himself up, just kind of his foot slips, he loses balance, and he slips back down, rolls his ankle a little bit, so it's not like serious, it's just like smarting now. It's like just hopping around.
So you now get a -1, both of you, on all dice rolls until you clear that condition.
Oh
You
no.
clear that condition by spending a scene with your anchor. You don't want to accumulate too many of those, because if you gain all 4 conditions, you are broken and you cannot succeed rolls at all. Automatically fail.
Mm-hmm.
So, you do manage it though. You take those conditions. You are now exhausted. Annabeth standing on this toilet block roof with the others, and Jesse, obviously, you're like hopping, limping on one foot. But you turn and you look back to where the object last was in the sky, and you see that in the time it's taken you to cross the campsite and climb onto the roof, it has arrived. And whatever it is this hulking dark mass with this strange purplish glow emanating from below. And as you look, it sails almost directly over your head, no more than 20 meters above you.
Ooh.
And you all feel yourselves bathed in this purple light. What does it feel like?
It feels like magic. That's what Becky would think. She's considers herself an expert in fairies. She has not figured this out yet. I don't think she's figured out what this is, because Jessie made a very interesting point. This is too big to be any kind of normal fairy. So this must be like an extra special one, or perhaps some other kind of mystical, magical creature that she hasn't encountered yet, or she hasn't come across yet in any of her readings, drawings. Her first thought is probably that she's going to have to pay a visit to Auntie and see if Auntie has any books on the subject of large fairies. But she absolutely thinks that this, whatever this is casting a spell on her, and I think she's ready. Like, she kind of accepts it. She's not. She's almost excited. Like, she's jumping up and down, and sort of pointing and just kind of giggling to herself and saying "Wow, wow, wow, wow" over and over again. And she seems very happy, very content, not in the least bit frightened.
It doesn't slow down. It doesn't stop. It just keeps moving. And almost before you can register its presence, it's gone again. And it disappears behind the trees, as far as you can tell, making its way back towards town.
Wow.
And it's dark and it's cold. And you're standing on the top of a toilet block in a campsite at 2 a.m.
Well, it's not dark. I passed out the torches.
And the other thing that happens is the GM starts 2 countdowns.
Oh,
You may or may not be able to see. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
what?
Is stressful in the best
I
way.
know. Great, right?
Wait, hang
Love
on.
countdowns.
Right.
Two.
Like, okay. Now, I feel like we need to agree on 2 things. First of all, if this was one of my books, we would be expected to go after that thing. But also, this is not one of my books, and if we get caught, we're gonna be in so much trouble.
Oh, I want to go after it. Can we go after it, please?
I would catch hell. It would not be good, Bex.
But I think Becky has a point, because like we could be back before anyone else has woken up. They had a lot of adult drinks.
They're gonna be sleeping in until 9 for sure.
Oh, yes.
Like,
Might even be 9:30.
Woo.
might even be. Okay, if we're gonna do this, we have to be quiet and we have to be back before the sun is up.
Okay.
Quick adventure, in and out, 5 minutes.
Oh, hands in.
Not actually 5 minutes, Becky. Like, it's gonna be a couple of hours. Come on.
she puts her hand in.
Yeah.
I will also note that when Kimberly said, I think Becky has a point, she looked exceptionally pleased, because no one ever thinks that Becky has a point.
Annabeth looks at Jesse and doesn't put her hand down until Jesse puts his hand in.
Jesse is looking at the two hands in, looking back at the campsite, looking at the hands. Like, oh, this is gonna go so badly. Just puts his hand in.
Yeah.
Annabeth puts her hand on top.
Okay. On 3, bloaters. 1, 2, 3, bloaters.
Bloaters?
All right. Now, somebody help me down.
It's dead easy. Scale down a drain pipe.
I don't want to drop.
Well, we'll catch you.
You're not gonna
Alright.
drop. We'll catch you.
I think Becky looks like she's just about to straight up jump.
Oh,
and then she like turns around and she goes, "Oh, you're right, I don't have my wings on," and then starts to like climb down.
Becky,
Mama's
there are a
gonna
lot more
kill
reasons
me.
except for the wings.
We
As
get
you
down.
start moving,
Mhm.
not long after this creature has passed, Annabeth,
Mhm.
there's a lot going on right now. You're really tired, you're shocked, and you have so many feelings running through you right now, and everybody's trying to run after this creature, and it's 2 in the morning, and you're not sure where you're going to go and how you're going to do it. And through all of this confusion, all of these feelings, another one kind of settles in somewhere in your chest, somewhere in the back of your head. Is a presence. It feels like not quite like you're being watched, but like somebody is with you. But that doesn't make sense because only the other 3 kids are here with you. You look around and you can't see anybody staring at you. You can't shake that feeling, but it's not a scary feeling. If anything, it's quite comforting.
Annabeth doesn't let on at all how she is feeling. Like, there's like a moment where, like, you know, when you like hesitate before crossing a road, even though you know there's like no cars coming. I think she just hesitates a tiny bit too long and falls back a tiny bit. But just like it's like, this is my internal monologue moment, and then keeps going.
Bless.
What's the plan?
I think it is, correct me if I'm wrong, storyteller and friends, it is follow the creature.
Follow the creature.
We're looking and we're following.
Yeah.
I think that Becky says, "Don't worry, everyone. I'm an expert in fairies," and she sort of takes the lead, makes a few steps, and then turns to Annabeth and goes, "Where's the campsite exit again?"
Annabeth is like, "It's okay. We're not gonna use that exit." And like, I want to lead us. If it's going through trees, we are going through trees. We are like trying to follow, because you said it was moving quite slowly.
It's moving.
It's moving fairly quickly.
Is it moving fairly quickly? Okay, we are running to try and like mimic its path exactly. And when it like does the sharp turn, like Annabeth like skids a little bit, like as she like does like that cut turn. I think that's the best way forward. 100% is just
So
to go for it.
this is going to be tough. I'm gonna be really upfront with you. There's several things you're gonna have to do, and the major impediment for you right now, there are several. You lost sight of it as soon as it passed over your head. It went over some trees behind you, and you lost sight of it. So you're going to have to try and get out of this campsite. You're going to have to do so quickly, and you're going to have to do so quietly without waking anybody. So let's do a little fast forward montage, and we'll see if it's possible. But I'm being honest with you that it's gonna be very difficult. Two of you have already got conditions.
Yeah, Jesse's lagging behind, ankle hurting badly.
So, move roll, sneak roll. What are we thinking?
Sneak.
Sneak feels good for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say sneak feels better than just a move roll for me.
I think we are trying to be quiet as well, right? That's the bigger thing. We don't want to attract the attention of the parents.
So I think the combination of all the things, moving quickly and quietly whilst trying to get this creature in view, I think this is going to be a harder roll. So I think everybody's going to need 2 successes.
Okay.
Okay.
I definitely, I would say for Kimberly, sneaking has never been in Kimberly's wheelhouse.
Believable.
So I'm going to go for move instead. Oh dear.
That's a lot of dice.
That's some dices.
Ow. Is that you rolling at a -1, Becky? I know, sorry, you're not at a -1.
So I rolled a 6, a 5, and 2 2s, but I've got the -1, so I did have a success, but then it's not a success. Is that right?
No, so you just roll 1 less die than you would.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was a -1. Okay, right. Well,
-1 die.
Oh, that makes more sense than -1 to all of my dice rolls, because then I was
That
like,
would
well,
be
how am I ever going to
brutal.
get a 6? Okay, do you want me to re-roll with less dice?
Yeah, just put 1 dice aside and try again.
Oh no.
Did you lose your 6?
I lost my 6, and in fact, I got all ones.
Ooh, now that's not a thing. I don't have a
No.
rule to implement anything, but I want to.
Please.
I only
You
got
know what?
one success.
You know what? Do it.
No. I won't.
Do it. It'll be funny.
Well, here's the thing. None of you got 2 successes.
No.
I feel like we all just become hopelessly lost.
Yes, I think
A little
so.
bit.
Yeah.
You're all turned around because this thing was moving and it was light, and then suddenly it was darker again, and you've been to the toilet block, and then you went that way, and then you came back to the toilet block. Everything is strange and scary and still partly feels like a dream. And as you kind of hop down, and somebody's got to put their arm around Jesse to help him along, and
Yeah. I'll
you're
do that.
stumbling around and you're making a little bit too much noise. And before you know it, you can see somebody. You hear that telltale sound if you've ever been camping. It's just such a loud sound in the dark of the night of a tent zipping open. And you hear the rustle. You hear the rustle, and you see a tall figure stand up, and they're not wanting to shout, but they're going, Jesse! Jesse!
Oh
Dang
no.
it.
So,
It's the worst option.
so I go, hi, Mr. Reynolds.
Kimberly, what are you doing?
Oh, just coming back from the loo. Sorry, was I too loud?
You've been gone. I didn't hear anybody. Are you all over there? You see, kind of.
No.
And then a light comes on.
Oh.
A big torch is shining at all of you. You all had to go. Of course you did. Come on, are you done?
Yeah.
I think Becky's just going to walk forward, and she's just going to go, it's my fault. I was scared to go by myself in the dark.
His face immediately changes. Like, the demeanor is, oh, Becky, oh, yeah, don't worry. You don't need to be scared of the dark, but hey, good on you. Your sister and friends taking care of you.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds.
Come back to bed. It's cold.
Uh,
Is the loop still going?
Dad,
Yeah.
do you
Oh,
have
Dad.
an ice pack? I tripped in the dark.
Yeah. Check the cooler.
They should have those slippery when wet signs outside the toilet block.
I think they do, Kimberly.
Oh. didn't see it.
You three, back to bed. Jesse, check the cooler and then back to bed.
Okay.
Mr. Reynolds.
Good night off. Good night. Good night. You see him already nursing the beginnings of the hangover that is going to come for him in the morning. He jumps back in his tent. You hear the zip.
I don't think I noticed.
Becky, that was so quick.
What a good save.
Oh, well, just, people just kind of assume that about me. But I love the dark.
And you all know that to be true. I'm pretty sure that if we've ever done something like this before, Becky randomly tells the best ghost stories, like the
absolutely not.
scariest ones.
And then what happened, Becky? And then what happened?
And yeah, I think that she's just kind of she knows that she has a strange sense of awareness about being considered incapable at points, and so she kind of leans into it when it suits her.
I think Jesse has a special reserved tape for Becky's ghost stories that's just ambient weird synth.
Yes,
Amazing.
Yeah, like weird sounds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Incredible.
that Annabeth hates it. Annabeth you put on ghost stories, Annabeth actively walks away and does not come back until she hears the tape stop.
Amazing.
Yeah, I before we go back to bed, I think Annabeth does run ahead to the cooler to get the ice pack for Jesse, so that way they don't have to go all of that way and then go back to that tent.
She takes it. It's oh, thanks, Annabeth.
No worries. Do you need help getting back to your tent?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. And then I turn around really quickly and walk away.
Just
Night.
awkwardly goes back.
Night, Kimberly.
I think Becky just turns around and goes, when are we? Is this just a one night camping trip, or are we here for a few nights?
I think you're meant to be here for a few nights, and I think you've kind of got the run of the area over the weekend. You're kind of expected. It was the 80s. You're just expected to go off riding your bikes and going out to play, and nobody's really going to keep tabs on you throughout the day unless you miss a meal.
Ah, okay. So we could go back to town the next day or something like that, and we
Absolutely
would not be missed.
Just it has to be in the daytime.
Yeah.
I think that Becky would just turn around and just say, "Can we try and find it tomorrow?"
Show you where you are.
Ooh. Maps.
Ooh.
Maps and images. That is a map of the area. As always, the art and handouts in Tales from the Loop are beautiful.
Oh, I see. Yes. So
Yeah.
very close to the reactor.
Yeah, you're kind of equidistant between the reactor and town itself.
Nice.
Right there on the
And we can go down to and I can see, we can go down to Great Yarmouth. So is that where we saw it heading towards?
Yes.
Where Great Yarmouth is marked, or towards where Gorleston-on-Sea is marked?
No, very much towards Great Yarmouth, towards the North Sea. If you look again, you are sort of slap bang in the middle. If it left, the 3 dots are the cooling towers where it kind of came out of the sky, and it's gone right over the top of you towards the North Sea.
Amazing. Probably for the best that we failed to do this in the dark, because we might have ended up in the river.
Yeah, but it would have been bad though.
So you all reluctantly climb into your sleeping bags.
Yep.
and try to get back to sleep. Those of you who are now wide awake, some of you probably fall asleep much quicker than others.
I'm so tired.
I think Becky at some point just goes, I can't go to sleep. I'm too excited, and gets nothing in response.
Yeah.
No,
Just
she,
snores.
Annabeth is actually quite a light sleeper, and she's like, Becky, please. Becky, just lay awake, but silently, please.
What if it was like a giant and a fairy together? A giant fairy. Did you see the
Okay.
beanstalk?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'll try and be quiet.
Hang
But
on,
she's just kind of mumbling to herself.
hang on, I have something for this. And she sits up and she crawls to the end of her sleeping bag and like zips open the case and pulls out a little book. And she just tosses it at you with the tiny torch. And it's The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton.
Yes!
Amazing.
Oh, great. Great.
It kind of looked like just read the first couple of chapters. It's a bit slow to start, but there's a fairy in it named Silky. You'll like her. And there's like a hole in the clouds.
She looks at the
and-
front cover and she's like, does this man have a moon on his head?
His name is Moonface, but you need to get past that bit because there's like at the top of the tree there's a hole in the clouds, and it was like I saw like a hole in the sky, but there wasn't like a ladder or a tree beneath it, but it was similar to that. Just read that and then wake me when the sun rises. And then she like gets back in and like puts a pillow over her head.
She diligently opens this book, grabs the torch, and she's like, research, got it. And then just starts like
Adorable.
reading about like the land of tasty treats or whatever it is. But she is quiet. She actually I think that Becky is someone who it finds hard to keep focus on things. She often just jumps from thing to thing. But this is normally Annabeth's books don't really interest her because they're all romances and she doesn't like romance. But this one captivates her and she just starts reading it. I don't think she goes back to sleep.
Oh, bless you.
I think she just continues to read.
Final two things then. As you fall asleep, Annabeth, and as you lie awake, Becky, for the rest of the morning, would anybody else stay awake? The hole in the sky above the loop. Thankfully, Mr. Reynolds didn't notice it, but it was still there, and it's still there now. And if either of you two would have, I don't know, left your tent open a little, or just had the mesh bit closed so that you could look out into the night sky, you could watch it flicker and wave for another 30, 40 minutes. And if you kept your eye on it, you would see a hulking shape come back across the sky, bereft of light now, not glowing, not emanating that purple light, and make its way back through the hole. Whereupon it would promptly. Annabeth, as you sleep, you fall into a deep sleep. But as the night progresses and just before the sun begins to rise, you find yourself in that light dreaming sleep, and images just assail your senses. And a lot of them are hard to pick out. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of noise. But the things that stick with you, the things that are clearest, are the sounds of sea, roaring of the sea, seagulls, and somewhere beyond, a metallic clanking, almost like a roller coaster. And all the while there's this imagery of long, endlessly curving corridors and waterlogged cavern. Peace and quiet, but just a hint of a thread of loneliness underneath. And that stays with you until your eyes open and beyond. You wake the next morning, and it's a regular spring morning as far as anybody else can tell. The sun is up fairly early. It is bright. There is not a cloud in the sky. The dawn chorus greets you. And as you begin to step foot outside, it's the kind of morning where the dew is thick on the grass and you need shoes before you even step outside of your tent. Who would be first up?
Well, I feel like I don't know that it would be Becky because I feel like Becky stayed up very late reading The Faraway Tree, and is probably fast asleep with the book plastered to her face.
Oh. I mean, I'm very happy for Kimberly to have been up and done a couple of laps of the campground, but she's not fast per se. Like she can be fast on the pitch, but just like wandering around like stops and chats to everyone. So she doesn't really have a personal best. She just sort of chats around. So maybe I'll be up first, tootling about essentially.
She's like Gimli. She's very dangerous over short distances.
Yes, absolutely.
Not a long distance runner.
Yeah. I didn't like that. I didn't like cross country. Yeah. No thanks.
No thanks.
No thanks,
thank
Mr. Reynolds.
No thanks.
You do your morning laps, and it takes you about half an hour. And it's a fairly normal morning. There's no mention by anybody else of anything strange having happened overnight. But as you make your way back, sauntering, shall we say, back to the group of tents where your friends are, there's a bit of movement out of the corner of your eye, and you spot a van pull up. When you enter a campsite, there's just like a communal car park over by the toilet block, in fact, where you were last night. And you see a van pull up, and it has a logo on the side. It says MAFF, MAF. And I think most of you in town would know that MAF is the government agency which owns and controls the loop. It's not unusual to see them out and about around town. Many, many jobs in Great Yarmouth now are with MAF and the loop. It's slightly unusual to see one on what is now Easter Sunday morning, this early, and in a campsite. You do anything about it?
Yeah, because I think Jesse kind of mentioned stuff like when we were on the roof, talked about the loop a little bit and how it was unusual. Again, this is trying to remember what happened. So I think, if anything, Kimberly will take a lazy circuit of the toilet block, continuing the run to see if she spots anything.
Yeah. They're not being I mean, you can try to be sneaky if you would like, but this person driving isn't. So it's very easy to spot them.
Cool. I will say I only have one in in sneak.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Oh no. Oh, it's okay. No successes. So yeah, I'm not cool at all.
There's not any major fallout from this. You're just a kid walking through a campsite. Nothing alarming. But you very clearly see a uniformed guard, like a security guard, get out of the van and take a quick look around. In fact, I think he probably sees you not approaching and says, "Hey, you!
Hello.
I suppose you know where Reynolds is camping? Michael Reynolds?
Oh, Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds.
Oh yeah, I know him.
I heard he's here this weekend. Have you got any idea which tent might be his? I'm not about to go
I could
knocking on
take
doors.
you. I could take you right there. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Yeah.
What's your name?
Jeffrey.
Mr. Jeffrey. Okay, this way, Mr. Jeffrey. And then,
It's Jeffrey Smith, but yeah, fine, yeah, Mr.
oh, Mr. Jeffrey Smith. Okay. But what I would do, like going back to camp, I would make lots of noise. You know what? Sod it. I'm gonna talk to Mr. Jeffrey Smith. How's your Easter going?
You know when you just make an NPC and it's the throwaway and it
Oh,
doesn't matter and then the players engage?
Absolutely not.
Basically, I
I
think.
should have known.
But what the sort of point of it, like me talking aimlessly, is to more make the announcement that we are coming and hopefully wake up other people, being aware that of stuff that Jesse said last night. So I was like, oh, did you see the match last Sunday?
Yeah, we've got a good chance of promotion this season. Yeah.
Yeah. I predict it's going to be 2-1 with Chetlenburg getting the final goal.
Oh yeah, he's been having a strong season. We're lucky to have
Very
him.
good. Yep.
Yeah.
Golden boot.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
That's what I say too.
You can hear Kimberly approaching through your sleep.
I think Jesse, being a slow riser, like, was woken up when Kimberly left, but has just been kind of laying there half awake. And so hearing Kimberly come back but talking to someone, Jesse's gonna crawl to the edge of the tent and just kind of look out. And seeing Kim with a stranger, it's like, Kim?
Oh, hello, Jesse. Good morning.
Who's that?
Someone looking for Mr. Reynolds.
There's a chance you might recognize Jesse.
Yeah.
Because you definitely recognize the uniform because it's the same uniform that your dad wears when he goes to work. He is clearly a security guard at the group.
If Kimberly wouldn't say it aloud, but definitely the face speaks wink, like towards Jesse. To sort of like I'm like trying to be secretive, but also like
Jesse's just rubbing the sleep from their eyes, trying to see clearer. So, oh, Mr. Smith?
Oh, hello, Jesse. Yeah, how's your dad around?
Yeah, my dad is. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want him?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt your camping holiday, but yeah, we need to call him in. Unfortunately, been a bit of a it's been a bit of an evening.
But it's a holiday. You go.
If you go, I go. Yeah, it is, but unfortunately, work never stops at the loop. It's all a bit out of our control. But you didn't hear that from me. Is he in there with you?
No, he's over in the. I'll get him. Okay.
No, it's okay. If you point me in the direction, and I'll get out of here.
Jesse points over to where the adult tents are.
Ah, cool. Thanks. And thank you. Points to you, Kimberly.
no, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, Mr. Smith.
See you, kids. And he goes wandering over to your dad's tent, and if you watch, he will like try and knock and realize that it's fabric, and just awkwardly clear his throat. Michael, you in there? And you'll see a conversation ensue where clearly Jeffrey is telling your dad, "We need you at work." And your dad looks put out, throws a look to you of. Make me an empathize check.
Empathize.
Ooh.
I remember how this works. I push a button.
You do.
Empathize.
You can roll dice.
Oh.
Come on.
5 dice. You could use a luck point. You could push the roll. You could somehow use your boombox to make this roll. So
Everyone wakes up. Yeah.
I'll use the luck. Why not?
Yeah.
So that's a reroll then?
You would reroll all the failed dice. In your case, that's all of them. One
All
more.
of them, yeah. Cool. Empathize. I'm gonna roll actual dice this time.
Please feel free.
Yeah.
We're not going to start an actual dice superiority war.
It's not a war, it's a fact.
Okay, so 5
Controversy.
dice. Haha, that's success.
Excellent. Just one success or two?
Just one.
Just
All
one.
I'm saying.
There's a mix of emotions. It's the most obvious one is frustration and annoyance because nobody likes to be called into work on the day off. There's an added layer of frustration that he's not going to get to spend the rest of the planned time with you. But there's maybe just a hint at the end when he sort of reckons with what's happening that he can't say no, it's overtime. Maybe there's a little hint of relief.
I think Jesse will shrug when his dad looks at him, and then catching the relief, just kind of look down and crawl back into the tent.
After a little while.
I'll go wake the others. Guys. Like, guys, someone from Matt came. Waking up Annabeth and Becky to be like, someone's here.
There's loads of people here, leave me alone. And I like slide under the thing because I'm like Annabeth is exhausted. Like usually Annabeth is the first one up.
Yeah.
But she's tired today and she's like, nope. And like turns herself into, you know, when you had like sleeping bags and you would pretend to be a slug, and that's something that everyone definitely did. She slugs.
I think Becky's response is something along the lines of, Annabeth, I can't see anything. Oh, and then just takes the book off of her face.
I peek out at that because of genuine concern, and then seeing the book, I put it back.
Oh, sorry. Who's Matt? And just sort of like gets up and starts rubbing her eyes.
People from the loop. They're here. They're here for Mr. Reynolds.
Math. M-A-F-F.
Oh, math.
I was always better at English.
I thought that was genuinely that was a purposeful mistake.
No, that was definitely a Fiona thing. Yeah. They're here. They've come from the loop. They've come from Mr. Reynolds.
They're arresting Jesse's dad?
Alright, I get out at that.
No. De-escalate. No. Although now I don't know. Now I'm not. Oh no, I brought them here.
Did you snitch on Jesse's dad?
I would never.
He didn't do anything.
I know he didn't.
Okay.
Do you think we should tell them what we saw?
No. No.
We
That's
shouldn't
the-
tell
that's
them about the fairy.
Adults
Then they'll say
canonically
they
don't
found
like
it first.
fairies.
We found it first.
Okay. I'm gonna I grab like a kind of a kind of mix between a shawl and a scarf, and I'm gonna like throw it over my head. I'm gonna grab my like toiletries bag, and I'm just gonna go outside just to like casually, a 15-year-old girl who doesn't want to be seen first thing in the morning, just peer out and like see what's going on.
For the most part, normal campsite routines. Some other groups of kids who are up before you, digging into chocolate eggs that they have smuggled away with them, and getting ready to go out and play for the day. Then, at the one tent, you see Jeffrey Smith standing fairly awkwardly yawning occasionally, full, like, trying to hide it, but clearly running on very little sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse's dad gathering together some things. You can see him rustling around inside the tent, pulling some jeans on. And eventually he sticks his feet out, pulls on his big work boots that he always wears no matter whether he's at work or not,
Mm-hmm.
and stands up, dusts his hands off, says, "Right, okay, just give me 1 second, I'll meet you at the van." And he makes his way over to you, Jesse. Look, sorry, I've gotta...
You're going to work.
There was some experiment last night. There's a lot of data to move, and...
It's fine.
Oh, sorry, kid. I'll be back. It'll just be a regular shift, and then I'll be back, and we can hang out later.
Yeah, that's whatever.
I mean, you were gonna go play with your friends anyway today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll call Kim's mom and dad and tell them to bring some chips when they come. Okay.
Cool.
All right, kid. Stay out of trouble. And he gives you that really, really, like, fake macho chuck on the shoulder. I'm not gonna hug you, but this is what you get.
Yeah. Bye, Dad.
Have fun, kids. See you later. And he marches off towards the van. He gets in. Jeffrey gets in the driver's seat. They reverse out of the car park. And they head in the direction of the loop.
I do go to the toilet block, and I'm in there for like 5 minutes, and I come out clean clothes, hairbrush, teeth brushed, makeup on, like pristine.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back to the others.
Becky has absolutely scrambled an assortment of some kind of outfit on in the tent. I think we did speak about going and chasing after this thing, so Becky is trying to look as incognito as Becky would be able to, which is to say not very. But there is like a denim jacket. There's only one necklace instead of 5. There is an attempt at makeup, even with just like a small bit of glitter on the eyelids. Nothing much. And the bow is straight rather than wonky. And she sort of scrambles out, and I guess she's just kind of looking around, and she realizes that she's missed everything. And she kind of waves after the van and goes, "Oh, bye, Mr. Reynolds. Morning."
Oh, morning.
What do you think that was all about? Like, I think your dad's innocent, Jesse. Like, I don't know why they're taking him away.
Innocent? What do you mean?
Well, they came, they took him away. Something to do with the loop.
They took him to work. They took him to have a shift.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Phew.
Phew.
I knew he was innocent.
Did you think they were arresting my dad?
Well, no,
That's
I
exactly
feel so
what Kimberly
guilty.
said.
I
Wake us up.
I just felt so guilty because like I brought them right here, and you see Kimberly has a bit of a meltdown.
Okay. I put my hand on Kimberly's back, very lightly, and I'm like, "Breakfast. We need breakfast." And I kind of guide Kimberly over to where, like, the mini boxes of like assorted cereals are, because that's definitely a thing from the 80s, and if it's not, it is now for this specific purpose. I go and I like put Kimberly's favorite like mini cereal in front of her.
Rice Krispies, yay.
The least nutritious puffed rice.
Yeah.
Landis.
And
Like I get like paper bowl, grab some milk out of the cooler and like just make sure Kimberly eats something, because we all know that Kimberly, everyone is better when they have breakfast, and if anyone is having a bad time, they need food. That's the answer, always, every time.
And through mouthfuls, I sort of say to Annabeth, like, do you think like it's something to do with what we saw last night? Like, if something's happening at the loop, then whatever we saw, do you think we should tell people?
If I'm thinking about everything that I've read and seen in movies, no. Because adults always are aggressive to things that they don't understand. And if we want to protect or find, and then she kind of looks very directly at Becky and then back to Kimberly, the fairy, we have to be the ones to find it first.
Okay. All right.
And I think Becky looks up and just says, "There's no point telling the adults about the fairies anyway. No one ever believes me when I tell them."
Annabeth kind of looks guiltily to the floor for a second.
Annabeth is definitely one of those people.
But yes, breakfast. And then it went that way, and I kind of point in the direction that we all know that it went last night.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what we can find.
All right.
Kimberly, please! It's such a gross noise!
Oh, sorry.
So, you have your breakfast, you get dressed, you put on as much makeup or as little as you would like, and you head into town. How are you getting there?
Bikes?
I
Bike
assume
squad.
we have bikes.
I think we have bikes.
It's the 80s. You definitely have bikes.
There's no other way to get around.
It's true. So the campsite is by the river, and you are about equidistant between the Broads and Great Yarmouth itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you head into town, and the way Great Yarmouth is built is that everything kind of funnels in and down towards the sea, and the main road that leads through town and towards the seafront happens to be the road that contains Great Yarmouth Market. And that seems to be as good a place as any to start. You ride your bikes, there's pathways most of the way, and making your way through. You only see a couple of strange things on your way through. The main one that you see as you're riding, initially as you're riding, you're going through like countryside and it's country roads and things like that. And occasionally in fields off to the side, you can see more math vans and more math employees, and they appear to be doing something in the soil. And one or two of them, as you pass, look up and maybe they sort of gesture at you, but they're too far away to. You've got plausible deniability. You just kind of wave back and keep.
Yeah, 100% waving. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Math employee.
Yeah, just keep going.
Then you get into town itself, and you have been here many times before. This is, if it wasn't Easter weekend and you weren't camping, this is probably where you would be hanging out and congregating in front of the Woolworths. It's a mix of open areas. There are benches, there are some fixed market stalls, there are some temporary fixtures, and there's a large amount of bustling local colour. The long road down the centre leads all the way to the beach, and it is steep enough that you can see from the market, you can see down to the beach and to the sea itself. It looks grey and cold. What do you do as you arrive?
Unless anyone else has anything, I think at some point, like seeing the math employees like looking in the soil and dirt, I think Kimberly might stop and like grab a handful to see eyeballing if anything is weird about soil.
Mm-hmm.
I will say she's not proficient in anything soil related, but just in general, like what are they looking at? Is there anything like just thinking that is a lead, so that's something that she would do, but like happy for other people to fit in or do something else. So that's such a weird thing for Kimberly to do.
No, I get it, right? Because if we're continuing the fairy metaphor, then I guess we can assume that they're looking for traces of fairy dust, something like that it's left behind.
This is absolutely what Becky would tell you is happening if asked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I think you should do it.
If you do end up looking at the dirt, don't lick it too much. You might end up flying.
You knew that there was a little
Kimberly,
moment.
Please don't lick the dirt.
I wasn't. I'd never.
You can lick it a little bit.
No, I don't think she can.
Just watching these two
And then Becky looks at you and goes, "How are you supposed to do a proper analysis?"
Oh, it's like having an angel and devil on my shoulder.
Jessie, please.
The hand is moving, but like Kimberly's like.
Jessie has not been paying too much attention and has been very moody this whole bike ride.
Oh, no.
So when Annabeth is like, Jessie, please, she's what? Don't
You licked.
eat
I saw
it.
you lick.
Don't eat it.
Okay. I'll just eyeball it then.
I ask you, the character, and you, Fiona, this.
Okay.
What are you rolling for this? What skill does it take in Tales from the Loop to lick dirt?
Oh.
That's obviously a calculate roll.
Oh god, I hope not. I don't have anything in tech. I don't know. Maybe a comprehend, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Would you like me to roll that? Okay.
I think you should do something other than just lick the dirt.
No, me too. Darcy, me too.
I
We're right
can't
there.
believe
Smell
you've
it.
done this.
Feel it. Does it feel different to normal dirt? Is it
No.
sparkling?
So I
No.
rolled
What's happened?
3d6 and I got 1 success on my mind comprehend.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like dirt.
It's definitely dirt.
Confirmed.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and make an assumption about Kimberly as a person.
Great.
This is not the first time you've tasted dirt,
That's an assumption right there.
but she plays football.
Football,
That-
yeah. No, I got that.
That's a call out. That's a call out.
No,
and I'm here for it.
absolutely.
No, I agree. The football for being on the floor, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
It just tastes like dirt.
Oh, I don't think it's been this way. I resist the urge to go for another lick just to make sure. So, but yeah, so it doesn't happen, etc.
But it
Someone
does
else may
occur to
go.
you as
Yes.
you're doing it and watching. Maybe you're like watching what they're doing to see if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doing any different
Rather
taste
just-
techniques. They are taking samples, and some of them you can see are like putting it in plastic bins and loading it into their van. They're gonna do. They've got science that they're gonna do to it. They're not gonna eat it. But you figured that out
I did.
with a success.
Wow. That would have been really embarrassing.
Imagine what would have happened if you failed.
I could have just eaten more dirt voluntarily.
Oh no.
I
Right.
love this game. So
It's a good game.
All right, well, my results are inconclusive. I might come back to this at some other point. Where else could we go? Where else could this creature have gone to?
I'm gonna guide you back to the market
Yep.
for the sake of narrative. And I'm gonna
Oh.
say, who's got decent what skill do I have? Let me see. I like it when you roll dice.
We're supposed to roll dice.
Somebody with a decent investigate score, or a decent mind score at least.
I have a decent investigate score. It's one of my skills.
Go for it.
Nice.
A key skill, in
Okay.
fact.
So, if somebody needed a refresher on how many dice I'm supposed to roll, is it
Mhm.
mind and then additional dice for the. Okay. So, I'm rolling. I've got a 5 in mind, and then I've got 3 in investigate. So, I'm rolling 8 dice.
8d6.
Whoa.
Wait, no, -1 because I'm exhausted and I haven't had a scene with
Well
my
done.
key adult.
Yes.
I'm not a cheat. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yay, I got 1. I
One.
got
Oh
1
God.
success in that. I got a 6, a 5, a 4, 2 3s, a 2, and a 1.
Amazing.
Ah,
the whole gamut.
The whole gang are here.
Yeah.
So,
Statistically likely with 7 dice. So
true. Very true. So you're having a weird day, Annabeth. You're sort of haunted by these images that you had in your dreams, and as the day has progressed, you've been acutely aware of this feeling of loneliness, helplessness, but it's not your feeling. There's an anxiousness that kind of sits alongside your awareness, but it isn't yours. Nevertheless, it occasionally sort of bleeds through. And so you're very aware that something strange is happening. You feel really keyed in to the unusual nature of whatever it is that is happening right now. And so looking around the market, you're able to almost blur out everything that is normal. And there is a lot that is normal here. Great Yarmouth is a fairly quiet town. Right now, it isn't full of tourists. It's mostly just local shoppers going about their business. But 2 things stand out to you. One is the group of kids standing at the top end of the market. There are 4 of them, and you all know them.
Oh,
No.
not those guys.
Allison, Katie, Johnny, and Simon are all lounging, loitering, one might say, in the market, being their usual obnoxious selves. They're watching the passers-by and making snide comments. But as you watch them, and as you notice the second figure who stands out in the market, you can see that they have also noticed him. And the majority of their snide remarks are actually aimed at a tall, kind of gangly, middle-aged man who you should also be able to see now.
Ooh.
Dr. Raff.
The figure of Dr. Daniel
Mr. May.
Raff.
Oh.
Oh no.
He is standing in the middle of the market, and every so often he intrudes upon a private conversation. He reaches out. He's reaching out and touching people, grabbing people to get their attention.
Oh no.
And
Ooh.
he is very clearly in some state of distress. He is very agitated. He has very clearly not slept. And as you approach or as you get closer, you can hear that he is almost begging people to tell him if they have seen anything. As he's doing this, the kids, the bullies, are just relentlessly mocking him. And occasionally they'll walk up to him and say, "Oh yeah, I saw something derogatory last night." And they'll all laugh uproariously and then peel off, regroup. He looks really agitated, in part by their presence, but also by something that is preoccupying him. How many successes did you make? Just the one?
Just the one.
Yep. That's good.
I point out Dr. Raff to the others, and the bullies, and Annabeth goes, I may need to retract my earlier statement. It might be time to tell a grown up because I don't think he counts anymore.
Are you sure?
I mean, look, nobody would believe us, but nobody's believing him either. Look at them. And like, I pause for a second, and like, someone walks up to him and then walks away again, like pushes him off, like so you guys can all see what is happening. So
I think, Becky's demeanor has probably changed a little bit at the presence of these other kids. She has she's still standing with you all, but she's visibly withdrawn a little bit. She's very guarded against them.
It would help if they weren't here, as per. But I mean, Kimberly's results with the dirt were inconclusive, so I can't think of anything better to do.
Maybe me and Jesse could be like team distraction, and we can try and get rid of the bullies. You know, the kings. Like I know them from before.
I mean, I'm always down for sending them off in whatever fashion is most appropriate.
Okay.
Flex his wrist.
Yeah, Annabeth hates these people and does not becomes incredibly unladylike when they're around.
Sure,
yeah, we can
that.
split up, cover more ground.
How does that sound, Jesse?
Yeah, we could do that.
Right, Becky, this way, and I kind of lead her off around the stalls to come in from a way that is kind of more obscured from the bully's vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
You're approaching Dr. Raff.
Yeah, but Kimberly and Jesse are running interference with the bullies.
I turn to Jesse and go, okay, team distraction. Let's pop off ideas. What do you think we could do to distract? I'm ready, coach.
Jesse is gonna look at you and say, Kim?
Yes. Oh, I didn't know about this.
I'm feeling really, I think, frustrated, and I'm gonna put it somewhere.
Okay.
Where I put it?
Yeah, in the game. Put your head in the game, Jesse.
Put my head in the game.
Yes. Oh, all in. Just you and me. There's hand ready.
Hands in. Kim,
yes.
If I punch Simon in the face, is it gonna be real bad?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that, coach. I pick a, unless they've got VAR, they won't see anything. We'll just be super quick and just. I'm thinking a simple trip. Look, I'll get on my bike, and maybe if you get on your bike, we can try and ride through them and suckers. But also, you could do a sucker punch at the end. I mean, that's your finishing move.
Or maybe I try to run one of them over. Okay, we'll run with it.
Okay, well, yeah, all in. Destruction. And
Becky gets a really dreamy, far off look and kind of watches this interaction and goes, I have a feeling we should have been team distract.
No, it's fine. Like, Jesse's more than capable. Kimberly's got this. Let's go.
I don't think he's in a very good mood. Okay. And then
I
just
get,
kind of.
yeah, I'm on my bike ready to ride, but there's a face going like,
I hesitate
Okay.
to ask. What are you gonna do?
Sorry, Game Master. I think it was obvious what we were going to do. I believe me and Jesse are on our bikes, and we are going to
Ride through the bullies.
Oh, okay. Are you going to say run them over? I was going to go with run them over. Right through them.
I'm a really big fan of the idea of Kim thinking that the plan is that they run them over now and Jesse actually not doing that. And
Yeah,
Kim
exactly.
doing it.
But yeah, ride through them just to like scatter them, I think is the idea.
Excellent. Okay. I'm going to say that's... I'm going to leave the ultimate decision up to you, but I think that's either a move roll or a force roll. They will have different consequences should you fail.
I will have move.
I think I'm just going all in and doing a force as a result of our conversation with Jesse. Yeah.
That's a lot of dice.
Ooh,
Great.
Only one
what's it
success though for force.
I'm gonna stick with actual dice.
Yeah. You could choose to reroll some, Kimberly. When you get more successes, you can buy extra effects and make things happen that wouldn't normally happen.
Yeah, I'll see what Jesse does, and then because I definitely do want to push the roll, but I want to see
my ankle.
You can do this.
I cannot do this.
No! All right. Yes, I would like to spend a luck then to re-roll my the successes.
You could also re-roll with a luck point, Jesse, or you could push the roll, take a condition, and re-roll. I can think of a way in which you could utilize your boombox here. So if you wanted to do that, that would give you a +2.
Ooh,
That gives you a +2, I think. +2.
+2 for your iconic.
I looked it in the rule.
okay. So would I need to take a condition? Okay.
Or you could just use a luck point. That has no...
I've used my luck point for that. So.
Yeah, I
Take my Game
used
Master hat off
one
again.
last game, and then I used the one I got again this game, so I don't have any more luck.
Okay.
For me.
For the audience, I have granted some of the players bonus luck point for doing extra credit assignments off stream.
Oh, we did homework. Teacher, thank you.
Okay, so explain this to me again. I swear I looked at the rules, but
good.
So I take a condition, and then I can use my boombox, and then I re-roll everything.
If you were to use your boombox, if you were to tell me how you use your boombox to make this happen, then that would have been added on to the roll. So we can just work on it and say that you added it on. So you can roll an extra 2 dice now. And if either of those are a success, then the initial roll was a success.
Okay. So Jesse, well, did I named the boombox? I can't remember what I named it.
The boombox deserves a name. No, this is absolutely correct.
It has to.
That was not criticism.
Like,
but that was me addressing any naysayers in the audience. Like, they named the boombox. No, this is the correct.
Yeah. All the kids name their cars. You get to name your boombox.
Absolutely. I'll think to remember it in a second.
Okay.
But Jesse's going to reach, like, it's strapped with like stretch cord, like strapped to like the back of his seat, and Jesse is going to rummage through for a moment, pull out a mixtape, slam on Barracuda, and
Yes.
Just kind of crack his knuckles as Barracuda begin to pedal.
That's so intimidating. If a
love it.
14-year-old did that to me, Taylor, an adult, I would cry.
I'm so excited about the angst that is emanating from this
Mhm.
moment.
The angst.
The angst.
I got a 6.
Yes.
Power of Barracuda prevails.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So you've both got a success. Fiona, are you going to buy extra successes?
So I used my luck. So I've re-rolled and I got another success.
Fantastic.
So got 2 successes from me.
So you can spend that extra success for a bonus effect. And sorry, did you use move or force?
I used
You used
force.
Yes,
So
you
you could have given
did.
success to Jesse, but you don't need to now.
No.
You can impress, frighten, or humiliate. You can pin your opponent. You can take something from your opponent.
Their
You can knock
dignity.
them unconscious, which seems
Oh.
like a wild escalation, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
put
no,
it
no,
past
no.
Kimberly. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same trouble in the future, or you avoid any collateral damage. And to be honest
So-
and say, this exact scenario is not going to present itself again in this
Yeah.
adventure,
That's what I
and
thought.
there would not be any collateral damage.
Oh, you know, I want to take something from them. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Just like a. Well, following Jesse's example, like punching him. Like, okay, yeah. I'll just clothesline one of them, but pull something out of their pocket. as the
Oh,
result.
right. So what you're taking is their dignity.
Yes.
Yes.
Humiliate them.
Oh.
Okay.
We love
The
it.
two of you
We'll
the
get
two of you
straight.
mount up on your bikes and you wait for the exact right moment, and as there's like a parting in the shoppers, like the Red Sea, there is just a pathway straight to these bullies who haven't even noticed your presence yet. You just roar down the strip at them across the market, and they hear you coming because Barracuda. The shock on their faces is priceless, and they barely jump back out of the way, except let's say that you get one of them. Who do you want to clothesline?
Oh,
Who do you
come
want to
on.
get?
Oh, Simon.
Yes.
Simon. Simon is slower than the others. He's in
Yeah.
the middle of taunting somebody with a particularly nasty jibe that he's going to be really proud of. Except that you catch him in the back and he goes flying down onto the cobblestones of the market. What you take from him is the tooth that pops out and goes scattering across the marketplace.
Oh no.
And as you
I'm
ride
the tooth
away,
fairy. Just ride away. Ah! Oh dear.
The thing is, this was completely unprovoked.
I know.
This
Are we the bullies, Jesse? I think
I
we.
was just about to ask this same question. I think we need to consider right now. Like,
No, because the thing is, when like some people have been taunting you for so long that it's on site, and they just didn't clock us.
it is absolutely that dynamic. These kids, they used to be some of your friends, and then they just turned, and now they are spiteful and small in that high school bully way, and they
Yeah.
absolutely deserve it. Don't worry about it. But as you ride past, they're already screaming and shouting as they start and jump back, and you can hear them yelling and effing and blinding and swearing that they're gonna get you and they're gonna come after you, and you're gonna regret this.
oh
Yeah, bug off, smackheads.
Yeah.
I want to give you a luck point just for the head.
Yeah. Do it.
Yes.
You don't need. You are using this luck, and you are replenishing it at a rate. You don't need it. Don't worry.
Dude, have you noticed that we keep failing things?
I have. That's why I gave you the extra luck for the playlists. Don't worry. Failure helps the fun. So, you have disarmed and discombobulated the bullies, and they are more interested in coming after you now. I think maybe one or two of them has a bike,
Oh
and
no.
as soon as they manage to regroup, they mount up and
Consequences.
take up after you.
Oh.
They are gone from the marketplace, at least for now. What would you two like to do, Team Dr. Raff?
Team Dr. Raff. Well, I guess we watched that happen first of all. Becky looks somewhat discombobulated herself. She's like, I didn't know they were gonna do that.
Yeah, but they kind of deserve it though.
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, they do.
It's okay. Deep breath.
And like she does take a deep breath because she can see them like running off, and you can see her shoulders like visibly relaxing. And she looks up at you and she says, I'm fine. We should go and find the doctor. But can I ask you something? Are you okay?
I'm as okay as I'll ever be.
No, I mean, I stayed up really late doing research last night, and you were making funny noises in your sleep. And you look really tired. Like, you look really nice, but really tired.
It's okay, Becky. I just had some bad dreams. That's all.
Fairies will do that to you.
They will. Let's go get the doctor. And I am going to, in anticipation, pull out my notebook of fan fiction.
The fan fiction.
Yeah, so
That's what we're going with.
Annabeth has like one of these, and it's like it's outdated even by 80s standards. You know, like the little school bag satchels that they had like in the 40s, and stuff, like the little like leather like book size things. She uses it to carry around like a book, whatever book she's reading at the time, and also a notebook. Like is just crammed in there as well. And she pulls it out and kind of clutches it to her chest and goes, "Come on, let's go." And she will just start making a beeline for Dr. Raff now that the bullies are gone.
I think Becky, in response, feels like the need to do something similar, so pulls out sketchbook and pencil, and also is just like, okay, and just comes after you.
As you approach him, he is engaged in conversation with a little old couple who have obviously just come from church and are out like in their finest, in their best, are out looking to go and get a nice meal, nice little lunch, just a cup of coffee and do some shopping. And he's saying, "No, you don't understand. It is absolutely imperative that I find nothing. Never mind. And he kind of shoos them off, and they look at each other nonplussed and just shuffle away.
Dr. Raff.
What? Oh.
Hi.
Wait a
Hello.
second. No, I'm sorry. I don't have time for any more questions right now. I'm very, very busy.
I know, but actually this is a really, really, really important one.
Several of your letters have stated that they were very, very, very important. But...
Okay, but the thing is, you can't write science fiction truthfully if you don't understand the science. And you are the only one who is capable of explaining things to me. And I'm working on something new, and I need your help. It's about holes in the sky and purple lights. Please.
I can't. You saw it, didn't you?
So what? I'm just writing a story. And she's trying really hard to keep it cool.
Oh, well, if you're going to tell me that you're struggling with something, then you're definitely going to have to make a roll.
No.
That's okay. It's what I brought out of my fanfiction notebook to make it more convincing.
What do you reckon?
I don't know.
Charm?
Charm.
Yeah.
Okay, so charm is heart, so that's 3. 3 for. Hang on. Charm is heart, so that's 4 plus 1 for charm, plus 2 for my notebook, minus 1 because I'm exhausted.
Nice.
Math.
Ha! 2 successes.
2
nice.
successes. Okay, great. So you succeed, and you can buy an extra effect. Your extra effect. The person keeps believing you. You have formed a lasting relationship. They will take risks to help you. They will persuade others to believe you. They are frightened, confused, or impressed. And the last one is irrelevant for this.
You know that I have to choose that they will take risks to help me.
Yeah.
Of course.
I
Nice.
buried the lead on why that is the best one you could have possibly taken because you only got
Mm.
one success when you entered the market. You did not see what you now see as Dr. Raff. You can tell he's exhausted. You can tell up close he has not slept. He is exhausted and he is beyond agitated. He is jittery and his eyes are darting about all over the place. But now that as you're stood up close to him, you can see that his eyes continuously dart to one place in particular. And he looks very, very nervous when he does so. If you look and follow his line of sight, you will see 2 normal people. So I'm going to show you.
Oh no.
Oh
Don't like
no.
those quote marks.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
2 people who
Ooh.
are very clearly watching him and doing a terrible job at hiding that fact. They are in their late 30s, and you can see that they are wearing what look to be regulation issue Max. They're like a little bit ill-sized, not quite as well-fitting as you would want. And they have a logo on the chest. And that logo bears the name Regis. Regis.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Why does that sound familiar?
It probably does to at least one of you. I don't know that it would to you, Annabeth. Regis is a government agency. I'll tell you this, Taylor, and you tell me if you think Annabeth would know it. It is the government agency that kind of overviews math, and they have been fairly hands-off with the loop, except when issues arise. Then they get involved. Regis is the Regional Geomagnetic Information Sciences Bureau. Whether or not Annabeth would know that, what you do know is that these people are very clearly watching him, and he is very clearly frustrated and anxious about it.
Hey Becky, can I borrow your sketchpad?
Yeah.
I
And,
just need and I write a note which basically is like an arrow to where these people are. And it just says bikes this way. Because I want Kimberly and Jesse to run interference again.
Worked
You
once.
can't. Just riding along with your
No,
arms out all the time.
Do-do-do-do.
I'm hoping that Becky gets the message, and then I just I reach into my satchel, like the little tiny front pocket, and I pull out like a couple of pound coins. I'm like, can you just go get some pick and mix from Woolworths, please? And I'm hoping that I'm being subtle enough.
what? Yeah. What?
This is
What
gonna
what
work.
is it that you're hoping that Becky will achieve? And then I will decide whether.
I'm hoping I marked out 2 people
Mhm.
and said bikes this way, and then I'm sending you away. I'm hoping that you go and find Jesse and Kimberly
Okay.
and go get them to ride their bikes at people. I'm
This-
putting a lot of faith in
This
you.
feels like a convoluted message.
It is. No, but that's the point. Because
You've
like,
pointed.
okay.
So I just want to be very clear. You
No, I know it's
arrow
convoluted and I know it's not going to work.
towards
But
these people,
yes.
but you've written bikes this way. I'm imagining the bikes are actually in a completely different direction. And you are asking me go and get some pick and mix from Woolworths, which I'd like to imagine is in a third direction.
Yes. Okay, but you've got to think about it from a 15-year-old book
No.
nerd
I
perspective.
absolutely love, trust, and respect that, but just imagine that I am also.
No,
an
And then
11-year-old
it would be really
trying to
funny.
understand why this compass is pointing in 3 different directions with 3 different.
Meanwhile, across the marketplace, God, I hope Annabeth and Becky they've really got it together, haven't they, Jesse? They'll nail this mystery.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it sounds like you
That's
need
not
to
it properly.
attempt to comprehend
This
what
does
Annabeth is
sound like
telling
I
you.
need to attempt to do it, and I
That's so
almost
funny.
hope I fail.
I kind of want you to
I
fail too.
Cat?
No,
feel
that would
like
be
Same.
I
That
feel
would
like I
be-
hope I fail at this point.
that would be banter.
Comprehend, you say?
I do. It's a
Comprehend.
mind skill.
Mind comprehend.
Mind. Oh well, my mind is pretty good. Amazingly.
You
Okay.
never know.
You never know.
She's young. She's got luck.
Ooh.
Oh, I did
One
get,
success.
I did
Nice
get a
work.
success.
I
Mhm.
can't
Nice,
believe
nice,
this.
Which I'm actually almost slightly disappointed about. I think it would have been a funnier bit, but
I'm okay if you want to choose to fail rolls in
You
this
can choose to
game.
fail for the bit.
okay. Well, maybe because I feel like that was quite convoluted. Maybe with one success, I pick up something, but not like.
Yeah.
Not like I pick up that it's not genuinely go and grab me some pick a mix from Woolworths, but maybe
Yes.
that just makes things worse.
You're now disappointed that you're not going to get pick a mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I want pick a mix for
Yeah,
real
no, I'm
life.
feeling it now, yeah.
Yeah, I really would like pick a mix, but specifically Woolworths pick a mix.
Mhm.
I've never
But,
been to this
however,
place.
you did get that extra success when talking to Dr. Raff, which stated that he will take risks for you.
Yeah.
And so he watches you do this back and forth, and he just shoots one very clear look at them and looks back to you and he says, I can't say much while they're watching. But if in your story there was some thing vaguely quadrupedal, I can't. Maybe it made its way to the beach for some reason. And maybe that's what all the Regis agents are trying to keep under wraps. Maybe somebody doesn't really know what settings they had when they ran that experiment last night and just needs to find out what it is. Maybe this is that person's big breakthrough. This is everything they've been working for. They can't take it away from me now. If you see anything, please. Not here, not now. He just turns and walks off. He walks to some other people and, as you now know, begins putting up a charade of, did you see anything? Did you see anything? And they watch him go. They watch him and not you.
I
Becky's
turn to
still
Becky
holding
and I'm
this
like,
couple of pounds and just goes, that's a lot of maybes. Do I get him pick and mix too? And looks at you.
no, not for him. But actually, yeah, go get some pick and mix for the rest of us. I'm just gonna go get Kimberly and Jesse.
And I think that the like small amount of description, by the way, that we got, like vaguely quadrupedal.
Yeah,
I
I
do think
me.
as I begin to walk towards Woolworths to go and grab the pick and mix, I will start to sketch it from what little I remember of this shape last night. And this very small, it's very vague. It's a vague blob, basically, is what I'm sketching, but it's the beginning of something. It's like this is me trying to gather clues, and I'll go to Woolworths and pick up enough pick and mix for everyone.
Perfect.
Smart.
Yeah, we're gonna need it. I think fuel.